Breaking news, according to Ricardo, Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia only did 520,000 pay-per-views. That's how much Canelo Alvarez sold against another name that happened to be another Mexican in Jaime Munguia. So for Canelo to only sell a little over 520,000 while fighting a huge name like Jaime Munguia, who is Mexican as well, this proves once again that Canelo is not the face of boxing. Last year when Canelo fought Charlo, that was one of his biggest pay-per-views as of late, and he still only sold a little over 650,000 against Little Charlo, who had to move up two weight divisions, losing to Crawford versus Errol Spence that sold around 700 to 800,000, and obviously Canelo got overshadowed by Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia's success, where they sold 1.2 million to 1.4 million on pay-per-view. That's who is the face of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, the winner of that fight. This is not rocket science. The face of boxing is who does the most numbers on pay-per-view. Last year, Gervonta did. This year, we shall see if Devin versus Ryan will be the biggest pay-per-view sale. I heard they did around like 900K. Or if Gervonta versus Frank will top that and sell more pay-per-views. You see, the face of boxing is going to be the person who is willing to fight the best. The person that's actually willing to give the fight fans the fights that they want to see. That's who's going to sell more on pay-per-view and is going to officially become the face of boxing. Right now, Tank is the face of boxing. But Tank can even lose his position to the former face of boxing, the one that came out of retirement, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul coming up, and I truly believe that's going to top all of the pay-per-views this year. I think Mike versus Jake Paul is going to sell the most on pay-per-view and actually sell more than 1 million on pay-per-view. Only time will tell. If so, Mike Tyson is still the face of boxing. You see, that's how it works. Whoever want to be the face of boxing has to fight the best. If Canelo listens to Mike Tyson, he can become the face of boxing too. We all heard Tyson tell Canelo, "You lack heart. You lack Mexican heart. You are afraid to lose again. You don't want to lose to David Benavidez. That's why you don't want to fight him." However, instead of Canelo accepting Mike Tyson's challenge to fight David Benavidez for his biggest payday to this day of $55 million guaranteed plus 100% of the pay-per-view revenue, Canelo Alvarez ended up turning down his biggest payday against David Benavidez for his biggest legacy day right now to ask for $200 million guaranteed to fight Benavidez. Such an unrealistic number for a guy who just sold 500,000 on pay-per-view against another big name like Munguia. What sense does that make? Then Canelo had the audacity to tell Tyson, "I will respect your opinion of telling me to fight David Benavidez if you wasn't high on mushrooms." As if Floyd Mayweather didn't tell him the same thing. As if Chavez Sr., Morales, Barrera, Marquez, Oscar De La Hoya, Hopkins, and all of the legends told Canelo Alvarez the same thing. Fight the Mexican monster David Benavidez. I guess Canelo is more interested of being the duck of boxing instead of the face of boxing, respectfully. It was Canelo who came out with the quote, "No ducking, no life," or something similar to that. We now know why. The fans have spoken. They're not going to buy any of these Canelo Alvarez cherry picks. The fans only want to see one fight, and they're only willing to buy one fight, and that's Canelo versus David Benavidez. If Canelo want to be the face of boxing, then fight David Benavidez. to become the face of boxing, to give the fans the fights that they want to see. And likewise for Tank. Tank is going to have to fight Devin Haney, Shakur, Lomachenko if he want to remain as the face of boxing, which according to Tank, he said he will. Only time will tell. However, according to Canelo, he said he will never fight David Benavidez. He don't care what the money is. It has to be $200 million for him to take a loss to Benavidez, basically. But with these low pay-per-view numbers Canelo keep putting out, he might not even get his guarantee, his next fight of $32 million, whatever it is. Canelo Alvarez stock is dying. If he keeps cherry picking and if he fights Edgar Berlanga next, he'd be lucky if they offer him $15 million guaranteed to fight Edgar Berlanga, because this is a very low number for the guarantee amount Canelo Alvarez is making. This really makes the fight a flop. Investors don't want to lose money by paying Canelo Alvarez a bigger guarantee than the pay-per-view numbers he can produce, because they still have to pay his opponents and promote the fight, then cut their profits at the end. This means Canelo is going to have to step his game up and stop cherry picking if he even want to keep the same salary, let alone get more money. It went from looking bad for Canelo, who claims he is at the prime of his career, at the best of his prime. This is what Canelo said. He said nobody beats him right now, which he's right in a sense of ain't nobody beating this cherry picking version of him. None of these cherries he's cherry picking has a chance. That's why he doesn't fight anybody of risk. And that's why Canelo pay-per-view numbers went from bad to worse. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Beat it. Yeah. Could beat everybody.
Does he beat Canelo in your opinion?
I think he beats everybody he gets in the ring with. So I don't have to say nobody's name or anything. Canelo got to stop picking his own opponents, man. Fight that guy. Yeah, but he did good his last fight, but the guy he fought was like soft. I want to see him fight one of those guys.
David Benavidez is pretty good.
Ooh, Benavidez, Canelo's be ducking.
Well, tell me, so like, what's the difference now from like your era to today? Like, what's the difference? Is it because of the promoters, the TV networks that everybody not matching up?
Yourself.
No one was afraid of anyone. Everyone really believed they can beat him.
But it's a business, more business, it's more
absolutely.
money than everybody.
Floyd Mayweather changed the game up when he turned into the pretty boy.
Yeah, that was cool too. But he had to get in that ring and fight too. He had to fight the best competitor. He wiped everybody out. And that's why he's who he is. He beat everybody. He beat everybody I thought would give him a chance. Mm-hmm. He's wiped everybody out. Nobody can even match him. The best. He didn't pick guys. He took the best. Yeah. Even the guys I picked against him, he beat everybody, made everybody wrong.
Right.
And that's why he who he is. Yeah, but Floyd, Floyd's just a bad nigga. Even though people don't like him, they got to give him his fucking praise.
No, we like him.
You got to give him his praise.
He just definitely mastered the marketing.
Absolutely.
The marketing field of boxing.
Absolutely.
Like, he turned boxing into like you market yourself. Now Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Floyd did change the game.
Who is he?
It was said that it was 55 million.
But who is he to offer me? And if he offered the amount he say, that amount I can make with anybody. So that's nothing.
You don't think that's the one of the biggest fights that can be made?
I don't. Maybe. Who knows? But you know, he brings nothing to the table for me. It's just he brings just 25 pounds more in the night. the fight on the night. That's it. But if some promoter, not him, because he's nothing to offer me anything.
Canelo, ¿cómo te sientes? Sorry.
He's nothing to offer me money, you know. I'm the one. So, but if one promoter who I work to, they come and say, I offer to you 150 to 200 million, I fight tomorrow. That's the only That's the only reason I fight with him, because the only thing he brings to the table is 25 more pounds.
Canelo, I think this is a great fight that the Mexican fans are going to enjoy, but is there any pressure to make the fight we're speaking about Benavidez, because you got people like
pressure.
Mike Tyson and
No
even
pressure.
Ryan Garcia? They said Ryan Garcia said if he was you, he would already fight Benavidez. Mike Tyson said you need to fight him. Is there any pressure?
I don't
in
need to
terms of-
fight anybody. I don't need to prove anybody anything, because I remember when this happened with Golovkin, and then it happened with this. So I don't need to prove anything with anybody. So this fight with Jaime Munguia, you need to respect it, because this fight is more important than other fights. So it is what it is. And you remember when you guys asking me for Golovkin, and I fought with Golovkin, and then Callum Smith, and then Billy Joe Saunders, and then Caleb Plant, and then so never is enough for you guys. But I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. I've been done everything in my career.
Do you respect your opinion, like Mike Tyson said his name? Do you respect his opinion, or how do you feel about like Mike Tyson?
I respect his opinion if he fights sober.
Canelo.